Make sure everybody's good. Okay, perfect. Looks like we're good. So once again, good morning. Happy Monday to everybody. My name is Jared. Welcome to the pre-market prep, and we will go ahead and get into it. So as we have cleared another week of trading, we'll go ahead and take a look at our weekly perspective on the SPY and just make sure we're not seeing anything out of the ordinary, anything that's actionable. And overall, you know, the SPY made a pretty significant move off of the lows. So we had multiple weeks of selling volatility. The range on the SPY price action did expand over those weeks. We had notable increases in volatility, the expected move, and just the overall range of the markets. And in the course of about 1 week, we pretty much pulled it all back, brought ourselves back right up to the all-time high. Now, it's notable on this perspective to just note that while we did make a new intraday all-time high, we technically have not closed at a new all-time high. And this can be seen if we drag it into just a lower perspective. There was a pre-market high of 395.76, and on the daily perspective, the previous high was 394.17, but our last two trading days, which are traded close to the all-time high, we closed at 393.53 and 394.06, which is just a stone's throw away from the recent all-time highs. So we're touching it, but we're technically not closing above it just yet. So that is something to at least keep aware of. This can also be seen if you're familiar with the futures contract, the ES minis. Bringing this to a lower time frame to actually see the price action. There was a high made at 395.925, and that was tested intraday. We zoom in here on this candle, and that high was 3958.5. So we're literally 0.75 ticks away from making or testing the actual all-time high in this futures contract. But we're not quite there yet. So worth noting, it's decent information because what has occurred since then is we have pulled back, I would say, a reasonable amount to once again find some amount of support at our 390 level. So shifting back to our daily perspective, that doesn't actually look like much on the daily, but what it's doing is it's allowing a little bit of consolidation as we have made quite a significant trend move from low to high, where we had multiple days with higher highs and higher lows made intraday. So as we consolidate, and if we look at our 4-hour perspective, what we're really starting to see come into fruition if you're a pattern-based trader is we're seeing the form of a cup, and then we have our handle being formed here. So overall, if you're looking at this from a pattern perspective, once we get the breakout of all-time highs and our notable, cup line is pretty clear, given that it is at all-time highs, this has the potential to move in such a way that a cup and handle will define your targets. So if you're familiar with cup and handle patterns, the way that they're formed can help define a projection of where to expect the breakout to go. And this is very similar to defining targets when you break out of a range, or things like a head and shoulders patterns, which is comprised of 3 different ranges, 2 of which are the same shoulders. So if you're a pattern-based trader, and if you're looking at this, you might think of this as an opportunity once we get the breakout to define your stop, based on the actual structure of the pattern, and to have clear targets even though we're at all-time highs. There's no price action to define your target. There's just projections. So something to maybe look into if you're interested in a pattern-based structure for a breakout. On this perspective as well, just noting the 50, the 20, and the 200 are all starting to trend higher. The 50 crossed the 200 in this time frame. So all moving averages based on what we look at are moving up. And as we consolidate these slower moving averages, we'll have time to catch up and provide some additional potential support zones if we were to pull back. Let's look at our 1 hour, and then let's pull up our volume profile to see has value in the market shifted? And the short answer is no, it really hasn't. We still see 390 showing itself as a huge shelf of value that the market not only doesn't like to stay away from for very long, but on pullbacks, we can see that it's typically acting as a support zone. So the value here is gravitationally interesting from the market's perspective, but as we're looking to break out, this pullback may be the only pullback that we see, given that we have not lost this shelf of value, and we're pretty much touching the all-time highs today with the potential to break out. Now, obviously, we'll see if there's any reason to go against that thesis, but from this ETF's perspective, a lot of things are looking relatively bullish for the breakout. And then our 10-day, 30-minute, we're just looking to see if there's any deviation of value on a shorter time frame. We are sitting above what is the past 10 days worth of value. So we're sitting above the range of the 1 standard deviation of value. And then we're obviously above 390 with a little bit of a value shift on the lower time frame. I think overall, the structure here is clear. We have all-time high sitting above us. We do have, and I did not note this, this recent relative high, which was a false breakout after we got our head and shoulders formation over here. And that's our shoulder, head, shoulder breakdown, and then a false breakout. So as long as we're sitting between this area and all-time highs, I think we could easily build up this range, potentially have the market increase the value in this range, which is a bullish sign. And then from there, whether we see the breakout or the breakdown is yet to be seen. But the breakdown has the notable exception that 390 is going to be hard for the market to chew through. It is just an area of interest that the market likes to go to, and it doesn't really like to move away from it very often, unless it builds value higher. So that's our notable takeaway from this perspective. Shifting over to our Nasdaq, let's look at our weekly. Take this off. Okay. So let's look at our weekly zoomed in. So as we've been mentioning, the Nasdaq is the weakest sector or the weakest index product that we're interested in. And the weekly candle did close above the 20, but we have not even cleared the previous weekly's candle yet. So sort of an inside weekly candle with a lot of notable resistance above us, along with a lot of proving to do from the bullish perspective. Now, obviously, the bearish perspective is still in play in this area due to the fact that if the markets ever see pullbacks or longer consolidations over price, where you'll see sort of a very timid downtrend and a longer term uptrend, this market has the potential to be relatively weak in those time frames because it has not proven itself to be sort of back in the bullish structure that we like to see the markets continue to have. From the daily perspective, we do have the 20 and the 50 that crossed as of Thursday of last week. We did see, I would say, not a rejection from this area, but just a slight pull away. And then the Friday action was below those moving averages. And then we have just our general trend line, which we did break above, but we haven't confirmed that we can move away from this and break above Thursday's price action. I think this section of price action is going to be important for us, because if we see price break through Thursday's candle, which is 319.86, significantly just breaking through 320, I think would be the general way to speak about it. That would be indication that we pulled down, we broke through our downtrend line, and then we back tested it for a move higher, which would put in sort of the low, the high, the new higher low, and we have maybe 310, 311 acting as support, and then a move higher. If we cannot do that, or if there's market weakness across the board, we could easily fall back into this downtrend line and need to consolidate in the range of 310 to 300 for more time. And that obviously can dictate directionality once that consolidation is done. We're just looking at the first sign that maybe this time-based and price-based consolidation is over, and we'll need to see that on the breakout. On the 180-day 4-hour, we do have our 20 that's acting as sort of a trending area of support. The 200 and the 50 are sloping down, but the 50 is below us, and the 200 is coming to test our price action. I've left up some areas of interest. 325 was certainly an inflection zone over the course of the past couple weeks. We saw price action go from 310 to 325 back and forth before ultimately breaking through the lower end of the range and going from 300 to 310. So now that we're sitting above 310, bulls want to hold this area and define this range as support. And we ultimately need to get a test of 325 at some point. This will take time, as this is our weakest sector and we're looking at a bullish target in a range. But we have some other things to look at, like this downtrend line, which could easily, the price could pull into it one more time to confirm that it has broken from it, and then move higher to get that 325 target. Our bearish thesis obviously being if we lose 310. 310 is going to be very important for this ETF to hold. Looking at value on the 30-day perspective, 314 is showing itself as value. Last week we had 317 as our VPOC. So this particular, I would say, time frame, even though the time frame evolves as days passed, most of the value over the past 30 days has been at a lower price than what we were seeing last week. So once again, I would say that this is going to be the hardest ETF to justify bullish strength in the short term, just due to the fact that it doesn't have the qualities of a bullish setup. We are simply in a range. We could easily hold this range for weeks. And what that means is that some of the candidates in this ETF, some of the notable tech and just semiconductor or just growth-based companies, may also see some consolidation as this tries to confirm directionality. I would say long-term, though, what's great about these ranges is that over time, and I'll pull it back just to the 4-hour to see it a little bit more clearly, this could easily define a shoulder, a head, and as we consolidate this range with the neckline being 325, this could easily make our second shoulder for the inverted head and shoulder perspective. Now, this is a pretty big one, so it's going to take that time to get there, but we have our neckline. We know it's 325, and what we need to see this shoulder do is actually come and test it. It has not done that even in just forming this shoulder, so it is significantly weaker than a normal head and shoulder structure at this time. And then finally, just our lowest time frame, 10-day, 30-minute with the volume profile. VPOC sitting at 311. We did see this last week where VPOC on the shortest time frame that we look at did sit at this support zone. And the price is able to at least move away from value and is sort of stuck at the VA high, which is a fairly notable target. If you move away from VPOC, your first target tends to be the VA high and the VA low, depending on which direction you go. So as the QQQ sort of chops around this zone, we do have a shelf of value at 318.50, we'll call it, probably a little bit higher than 318. And that brings us into Friday's consolidation near the end of the session, or sorry, Thursday's consolidation. A break above this would indicate that the weekly is breaking above, for the first time, all of the bearish candles that we saw, and that could easily give us our 320 and 325 targets to shoot for. So. Okay. And then finally, IWM. Bring it back to our 20/5200. Okay, so weekly perspective, that is an ignition bar. That is a strong push, not only breaking through a lot of the bearish action that we saw over the past couple of weeks, but it's also a significant breakout of all-time highs. So once again, IWM continues to prove that it is the strongest of the index ETFs, the strongest of the index products. And we will, continue to carry that thesis forward until proven otherwise. There's no reason to fight a thesis that has continued to prove itself to be true. Daily perspective, once again, similar to the SPY, multiple days of higher highs and higher lows, indicating multiple trend type days that had formed in order to break us out of all-time highs. Perspective here is that I would say, even though we do have a strong candidate, we are seeing a little bit of consolidation in the SPY and potentially the Qs. So this could easily come back and just back test our recent all-time high, which was sitting around 230, I want to say 25, 230, 32, a couple cents here and there. But the thing to keep in mind is that this move is a little overblown. Multiple days like this tend to be unsustainable at some point, and a healthy pullback would be a good confirmation that this can continue. Whereas if we continue to see higher highs and higher lows day in and day out, the potential for a much sharper pullback is higher, because as the market continues to trend, it is not placing a ton of value and therefore support in the zones that we want it to put support in. So a pullback will be harsher and therefore scarier on the downside. It is better for a bull thesis to have this actually consolidate, even though, directionally that is not what the bulls want to see in the short term. It is healthier in the long term. So the 180-day 4-hour, this trend action becomes more clear. As you see it here, there's very few pullback candles. There's very few red candles overall. And even in this perspective, a lot of higher highs and higher lows with very minimal pullbacks overall. We are seeing some pre-market action that may indicate that the pullback is starting. I would say this look right here is not a good one for, just another all-time high breakout just yet. But overall, everything in this perspective is looking bullish. We have 20, 50, and 200 below. We've broken through all-time highs, and once again, a simple pullback to all-time highs could easily lead to that breakout of what is now 235.38 as the intraday all-time high so far. Looking at our 30-day 1 hour and looking at where value has been placed, 226 continues to be our highest zone of value, aka our VPOC. So this is the volume point of control or value point of control. Most people will use volume. So this is where value is. This is where the market deems the most participation has occurred. And as we pull back into this value zone, the first target on this pullback would be the VA high. So given that that's at about 229 and we're looking at 230 as the recent all-time high, anywhere in this area would be an area for bulls to step back in. So that pullback, consolidation over price, and ultimately just hitting those targets on a simple, slow pullback could lead us to higher prices in the, I would say, maybe the medium term. This could be an area of interest over the next week as we look for this to break out. And finally, if we look at our shortest time frame, I could probably start removing some of these lines as we have cleared a lot of this price action. But the value in the short time frame is sitting at 223. What I just am noticing here is we do have a type of pocket of value. So as we pull back, it looks as if 230 in this perspective doesn't have a lot of support. I guess what that means is we could easily see a deeper pullback, and now we're looking maybe at 227.50. So it's good to pull back into a deeper time frame just to see if there's pockets of missing value. And when you see that, price action can fall through it. Now, the thing about that thesis is the overall market would have to be weak for that to really occur. This is our strongest ETF, so if the market's strong or just consolidating, a pullback to 230 may be enough. But if it's weak, this pocket right here means that it's not a good probabilistic idea to take a bounce in this area, because the market hasn't really placed enough participants, enough indication that these prices are of interest for that bounce to occur. So it's something to keep in mind. I would say that the higher time frame takes precedent over the lower time frame, but if you see a pocket in the lower time frame in the volume profile, that can be something to at least mark. And therefore, if you want to take a support long or a bounce long, you may be waiting for a deeper pullback, and you may be looking for better signals or confirmation before you actually go about taking it. So something to carry forward. Okay, so 5 minutes left. I did spend some extra time in this perspective because it is Monday. We have a whole new trading week ahead of us. These ETFs are important to at least have some analysis on, because it can give us some ideas for what the perspective is of the market and who's winning, who's leading, who's lagging, who's going to be the winner based on previous price action. I will indicate that today and also this week, there is a notable FOMC meeting coming up, and I'm sure Carlos and Norm will mention it throughout the week. One thing I'm keeping a close eye on is the bond market this week. If I just look at something like TLT, or I can even look at the ZB, which is the 30-year, or the ZN, which is the 10-year, all of these bond products are in sort of a free fall at the moment. Yields have been rising, and you can see this on TNX, TYX. So as we've been trading these past couple of weeks, the yield on these products has been rising not only steadily but also in some degree parabolically. they've been rising rather fast, and what that's done is it's put pressure on growth stocks. It's put pressure on companies that are holding high amounts of debt, and it has readjusted some of the, I'll say, valuation metrics on these products, moving into what is potentially a new market cycle that we are entering. Now, we have seen this be a benefactor or a benefit to sectors like financials, sectors like energy. Industrials have really been taking off. Metals continue to be a decent sector, not necessarily leading or lagging, but definitely not on the lagging side. And overall commodities have been really strong. We've looked at stuff like oil, and that's in relation to the strength in energy and just the strength in overall commodities. That continues to rally with no signs of stopping just yet, outside of some weekly resistance that we're coming into. But what I'm interested this week is that the FOMC, we may get some clarity into, will the Fed take any action in order to subvert or reduce the steadily increasing yields that we've been seeing. If they take an action, if it is a clear and defined action that they take, looking at these products and seeing how they react to that reaction, if there's no action, is this going to just continue? Those are things I want to carry forward into the longer term analysis of what we've been doing. If yields continue to rise, tech will continue to see a little bit of downward pressure, and we've seen it before. Will it continue, or will that correlation start to break? If the Fed steps in and aggressively tries to restrict the yield from increasing, doing some sort of, typically it's like a yield curve control, or they have other programs that they've implemented during the 08 and 09 crisis. If any of those programs are reinstated, what's going to happen to some of our strong sectors like financials? Are they going to see essentially not a crash, but a major correction, given that a lot of their fuel has come from an increasing yield? So as we step into this week, there may be some clarity that we can gain from that meeting, and potentially those are tradable actions, because we could easily see trend reversals or just a significant shift, and that could be something that could last for weeks, if not months. And if you're first in line, you have great risk to reward, and the potential for profit could be significant. So definitely want to keep an eye on that. We'll see how it comes out throughout the meeting. But that is, let's see, 8:30 Eastern, so that is my time. I want to thank everybody for joining us this morning. Happy trading on this Monday session. Best of luck to anyone trading out there. Some of the momentum stocks that I know are going to be on our watch list this morning. And my name is Jared. Thanks for joining. Take it off with Carlos and Norm next. So appreciate it.
Piece of shit. Should have gone better on that one. That's all right. Morning, buddy. Did you get my? I know you probably can't talk to me. Did you get my announcements? Just make sure those are loaded, the new ones. Awesome. Thanks, man. Ready to roll whenever you are.
All right. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the pre-market prep. I hope everyone's having an amazing morning. Hope everyone had a great weekend. Good morning, Norm. How are you doing today?
I'm doing all right, buddy. How are you?
Doing good, man. Doing good. Cannot complain. All right, guys, let's get to it. We had an amazing pre-market show this morning with Jerry. A lot of great information for this week and the overall market and what's coming up. Let's get into some of those details. If you missed that, we can get into the SPY, Norm, and kind of see what's going on there as far as some meetings coming up. They're going to be exciting for this week.
Yeah, man. So we had a pretty strong week last week after some pullbacks and a little bit of concern on bond prices, everything else. Jared discussed a lot of that in depth, so I won't really hit you with it too much. But we've had this nice upward move in the indices in the last 5 trading days, 6 trading days, after it looked like we might be entering into a heavier sell-off. So that is good to see, especially for our longer term holdings. Today, not a whole lot of data. I think 8:30 there was one. Was it 8:30? Empire State Index came out. Other than that, nothing today. But we do have a big week. We'll have retail sales tomorrow for February, and then the Fed, the FOMC, is going to be meeting Tuesday and Wednesday with their rate announcement and their policy announcement 2 p.m. on Wednesday Eastern. And then, of course, followed by the 2:30 press conference of the very sharp-tongued Jerome Powell. So it'll be interesting to see how the market goes through that. It's been quite a while, a year-ish, that we've been in a situation where really not much was expected to come out of those because there was no chance they were going to be moving on policy. And now we're entering a place where some people have concerns over it because of inflation and such. So how he addresses that and everything else will be what will influence the market. I have a good feeling of that this time for this meeting, and more so as we move forward to meetings throughout the rest of the year. That's what I got ready.
All right, yeah, it's definitely there'll be some excitement for sure, one way or the other. Let's get into what we have, guys, today on our gappers list. First of all, on our screen here, we kind of did a bit of a change. Our watch list now is over here at the bottom. Just gives us a little bit more room there, and we also have we moved what was here the trade ideas. This is kind of like a detail information. So this is where we check the float, market cap and all that's on here. ATR is also on here. So that is over here now. So I think it looks a little bit better. And again, guys, we always thank you guys for your suggestions. We get quite a few of them, and some we can implement, and we do, and they work out pretty well. All right, on our gappers list this morning, guys, let's take a look at what we have on the upside. A lot of low flow stocks you can see on here. Tons of yellow, 3.6, 9.0 there, 11, 7.8, 32 is okay, 18. So again, heavy on the low flows nicely into the double digits here. So let's start with NTEC. We're going to go through these quickly. If they don't look great and if they don't have great volume, we're going to dismiss them right away. So this one here up 95% at the moment. By the way, let's remove our watch list over here and let's make some space for some clean rows. And we'll look at NTEC one more time. So NTEC low flow stocks at 3.6 starting to get going here. 1.4 million shares traded. Again, they're daily not great. You're not going to find great dailies on these for the most part. The pre-market action is more important. This one's so we can come back to it. It's not great just yet. We'll keep an eye on that one. Next we have OC.
They've got a catalyst. They do have a merger. 3.5 million share float. It's
Nice.
Moving. I took a small trade on it a few minutes ago.
Excellent.
It was break even, and I kind of screwed it up, but I could have had a nice little start to my day. I was break even on it, but it could be that one could be interesting.
Yeah, I love these low flow stocks with a catalyst on it. It definitely gives them that boost at times. So we'll definitely keep an eye on this. OCUP, this one on here, what do we have going on? Not great right now. It's kind of dropping down up 30%, but giving a lot of that back this morning already. Only 825,000 shares traded, so not a whole lot of volume just yet. I'm gonna skip on down for now. GNMK, this one is looks like a buyout. It's just a nice pop up here, 30%, 1.6, but not a great pre-market action as far as price action, right? Look at this. If you zoom in, it's just popped up and it's just been going sideways. So a couple of huge trades being dropped. This usually indicates a buyout or just not a great catalyst to trade there. ZKIN, this one just starting to get going here a couple of minutes ago at 8:30. You see a nice little pop. Somebody dropped 187,000 shares traded, 1,000 shares on this one candle here. So starting to get moving up 23%. Let's give this a little bit to get going. Former runner up here, as you see, we have a couple of days here where it ran up pretty nice. So we'll come back onto that one. ZKIN, we'll throw that there. And here's Stay. This is not a low flow stock, sitting at 159 million, but a horrible pre-market action right now, guys. So if you look at this, this is not looking great. Their daily, for the most part, is very bad. They don't get volume under 3 million or way under that. For any given day here. So I'm concerned that might not trade very well. Very a high-low flow here at 159. So we'll skip on down for now. NGA, this one is starting to get going here, up 17%. The volume is so light though, guys. I know it's a 32 million shares flow here. Again, the daily doesn't look great. Has potential if it can get the volume. So let's put it on here. This will be Stay, STAY. We'll throw that on there.
Bud.
It's a buyout? Okay, so I'm going to remove it, guys.
Buyout.
Yeah,
Worthless.
It might not be good on that one. Let's get rid of that. So we'll get rid of that one. EDSA. This was not looking good. We'll skip on that. Man, not a lot looking good here. YALA. This one at the moment up 13.3. It's okay. I mean, I like the way NTIC looks, right? Look at the volume, 1.5 million. You got a lot of movement here. The other ones are not looking that great, so I'm going to skip through them. They can get better later down the line. For example, YALA doesn't look bad. It's
not to be confused with YOLO.
Yeah, not to be confused with YOLO. This is Yala, so don't confuse it with YOLO. Again, it could get nice here, but I'm going to keep it off for now. All right, I'm going to stop here on our gapping up list. Let's just scroll down, see if we have anyone that we have been watching closely. AMC is on here. Let's see what's going on with AMC. They are up 9.6, so that's nice. It's a nice daily on AMC. We'll keep an eye on that one. Let's see if there's anything else interesting.
I think they're going to have all their. I think I heard they're going to have all of their. I know some of their theaters are opening up in California, and I think I heard all of them will be open by Friday of this week. So
nice.
Popping on reopening stuff.
Yeah, that's very, very good news for them. ALT, let's see if anything else here. WWR, no, that's not looking great. All right, we'll stop here. GameStop is up 4% as well. But again, AMC is definitely the one to watch this morning. All right, I'm going to stop here. Let's see what's gapping down today. A couple of low flow stocks leading the way. NLSP, this one was very active last week as well. Today they're down 13.3, 1.4 million. I didn't watch it closely, so I'm not sure how well it traded on Friday. Let's see here. A couple of pops in here that you definitely did get. Could be interesting today for the second day. You do not have shares for sure, and usually the second day of trading after a nice pop like that on these lower flow stocks is very difficult to trade. So I'm going to keep this one off the list for now. ENTX, this one is 13.9. Not looking good right now in the pre-market action. Another one that is going on their third day of action as a low flow stock popping up here. So again, it could just get trickier on the second and a third day. So be careful with that one. I won't be adding it to my list. LLY, this one gapping down 7%, 155,000 shares traded. It's okay. It's okay, not great. I like the drop here. We've been consolidated between 210 and what seems to be 202 or so. So I do like that drop there. Yeah, maybe we'll keep an eye on it. Maybe a possible, not a main one, but we'll see. Here's ICE. Now, ICE has been very active, been able to hold this gap up that it had a couple of days ago. Had a great day on Friday, possible continuation today. Now, the difference between this one and like ENTX, you know, if you look at the daily, this one doesn't look as great. On ICE, you actually do have a nice daily, guys. Beautiful pop here, comes back down to this 10 price target here, then pops up on Friday. Very nice. Possible continuation today. Now, this is a low flow stock and it does trade well. You need to be very careful with this, and we'll add that one to the list. A little bit light on the volume right now, only 403, but I do like the daily on this one and what we've seen the last couple of days here. FINV, this one, no good, guys. Not a great pre-market action. DKNG, it's okay. We're down 4% this morning, 504. Again, DKNG is like a PLTR. You know, it can be very nice, but also very, very choppy. We'll take a look at that one. Riot is down. I thought the Bitcoin stuff was up, but Riot is down. It's 3.7.
And Bitcoin's down this morning.
Oh, it's down this morning. Okay, so 3.7.
After hitting over 60,000 over the weekend, that's pulled back.
Oh, okay, right. So they did hit 6,000. Now they're dropping. Okay, got it. So they're down 3.7. Again, some of these are pretty hard to find inventory for sure. I know CAN is one of them that usually has inventory for sure. Mara once in a while does have it. Again, they're very active. All of them having some pretty good volume here. I do like CAN. We did trade that. I traded, I think, that once or twice last week, so I'll keep an eye on that one, see if anything's popping there. How about Mara? Mara, anything going on here on Mara? It's got volume, but again, I like CAN because we do have the short. We also have short on Mara too. We'll keep an eye on those, just in case, see what comes out of that. All right, what else we have down here? Let's scroll down. Nothing else. Norm, what do you like this morning?
I'm still looking, man. Penn might be interesting. They're being added to the S&P 500, so they're getting a pop this morning, 7.3. I don't know if you looked at that one.
Which one's that one? Pins?
Penn, Penn.
Oh, Penn. Oh, okay. Here we go.
I found it difficult to trade. It's a little choppy, but we'll see how when the market opens if that changes. It's got a bit of a spread, 25 cents too right now, so it's not super attractive, but it has potential for later.
Yeah, daily does look good though. A nice pop today, 7.3. We'll see how that turns out with that catalyst. All right, guys, let's get to our chat room then. Let's start here with Mike. Mike is giving us American Airlines. I see a couple of you guys throwing that one out there in both chats. American Airlines looking good, guys. Up 4.6 this morning. Look at this beautiful breakout on Friday. I did not see it Friday, but nice breakout on Friday and possible continuation today. Again, as things just continue to reopen, vaccines continue to be given to people, so that's helping these companies do well. So American Airlines, I do like what I'm seeing there. I see a lot of you throwing the other airlines out, so we'll look at United. United, not as great with the volume, but it can trade very clean. They will get the volume today if the airlines are in play. So we'll put that on there as a possible for now as well, because that could be a secondary. Going back down here, we're looking at CCL. Let's take a look there. CCL this morning also popping up a little bit here, 1.5. Doesn't have the great volume that we're used to seeing out of CCL. But again, another reopening type play. We'll keep CCL right on here. We'll come back to that one as well. Might not stay on our main list, but we'll take a look at that. Let's look at check CHEK. CHEK. And this one. Penny stock, yeah, you got to be careful with these guys. So this one usually trading under $1 here. Anything under $1, you got to be very, very careful. Now I know this pre-market action looks very good.
It's not the worst I've ever seen. I'll give it that. I mean, it's got high volume. It's got a nice gap. It's just not really my wheelhouse. I don't care. And Mr. T, it obviously, I mean, there is a catalyst. I would hope so. It's up 145%, but just you got to learn what you specialize in and what your strategies work on, and penny stocks really aren't part of that.
Yep, I agree 100%, guys. I'll put it on here for those that do like that one, but again, I won't be watching it. Probably won't stay there as one of my finals on this list here. All right, let's take a look down here. Eyes we have on deck that they're moving nicely. Their day looks great. AMC is good. We have that one. Neo. Let's take a look at what Neo's been doing. It's been very, very active. Ever since this drop here, between here was very choppy. Ever since this drop, we've been getting a couple of great days here. So a lot of great movement, especially the last 2 weeks. The last 2 weeks, we've seen some pretty good action out of it. A couple of days where it's been choppy, but for the most part, good action. Right now, 1.1 million, great activity here, going green to red at the moment. So looking okay. I like the daily as well, more towards the upside, not towards the bottom here, for a possible breakout. We'll see what happens. Neo looking okay this morning. Heading on down, NNDM. I don't like the way this one trades. NNDM. We've seen this one quite a bit on here. It can be choppy at times. On Friday, let's see what it did. I don't think I kept it on my list on Friday. At least I did not watch the action. I had a great pre-market. I remember that. And then, yeah, not bad. Probably a nice engulfing pattern here for a reversal. Not bad, not bad. It's got some action there. So maybe a possible for me, at least for you, that can be on your main list if you do like what's going on there this morning. Right, heading on down, what else do we have? XBEV. I do have Neo. You can watch either one. XBEV, let's take a look how they look this morning. Very similar. Their day looks a little bit better. They're slightly, they're still green. They're above their previous day close, opposed to Neo, which is red. Slightly. So interesting there how the daily is a little bit better on XBEV. So we'll put XBEV here. Maybe that's the one to watch today. I do like the fact that they're actually green. Heading on down, we have BA. BA has been incredible, guys. We've been talking about this for quite some time. I mean, just look at the breakouts we had here last week and the beautiful continuation. This morning, they're up 1.7, very clearly very extended on the daily. Can we continue this beautiful trend we have going on with BA? So let's keep an eye on that one. Stitch Fix. Another one that can be a hit or miss. They don't have volume today, so I don't like what I'm seeing there. They're daily, maybe, so you're looking at for a possible close of this gap. This is one you can probably take a look at, later down the line, 10, 30, 11, see what's going on there, or wait for it to hit the scanners for a possible, longer term play today into the closing this gap. But again, right now, definitely no action, definitely very quiet as far as volume. We'll do a few more here, guys. What we got on time? 850. ACER, what do we have here? This one at the moment gapping up 64%. So nice big gap up this morning. What is the float on this? ACER. We're looking at 80 million shares float. Nope, sorry. The float is down here. 12.1 million shares float. So low flow stock.
Yeah. I somebody pointed this out on YouTube, so I pulled it up a little bit ago. It's a low float. It does not have the order flow or volume that I would like to see. I mean, it's traded 7 million shares, but its order flow is real spotty.
Okay, yeah. That's a good point too when it comes to order flow. You need to see that nice movement. I mean, this thing traded 7 million since 4 o'clock this morning, right? Usually we start seeing this low flow stock that traded 7 million since like 7 a.m. or something. So that order flow is a lot faster and more cleaner. We're not seeing that here. So yeah, I'm gonna keep this one off for now. Again, we have some other ones here that look pretty good, guys. So we'll take a look and see if these will turn out pretty great this morning. We'll see what happens. All right, let's take a look over down here. What else do we have? ENTX. We looked at ENTX. Where is that one? Did we keep it? We looked at it. Maybe we didn't keep it. Let's see here. Yeah, I mean, this is going on this third day. Can it trade well? Yes. I'm not going to watch it, though. It's just the way I like to trade. This one would not be one on my list, on my personal list. So I'm going to keep this one, do this one off. Yeah, I see it nice. You saying a triple bottom here? Yeah, you got some action here as well. But again, I just don't see it as one that I will be keeping on my list. All right, American Airlines AMC, we do have X. Let's take a look at that one. X here, nice couple of great days here. X could be very choppy, guys. We traded this one plenty of times in the past. So just be careful with this one. Up 2.1 this morning. We'll put it on here, see if it gets better. They're doing nice on their daily, though. They're similar to BA a little bit here. Beautiful continuation. Definitely extended this morning. We'll see if that's going to continue towards the top there. All right, heading on down. All right, we'll stop here. Let's take a look over our YouTube chat, see if we have anything that we have not touched on. LUV, I believe that's airline, right? They're looking good this morning. I do like Southwest, right? Yeah, I do like American Airlines this morning. They got more volume than most. They're looking pretty good there.
All these are trading higher on TSA numbers that came out of passenger volume picking up. So looking at, it's a reopening play. Love. I love. I own it in long-term stuff. I mean, It's a great company. But day trading it is tough. Frankly, if I was going to trade airlines, since it's kind of a general industry news, I'd probably pick something better. Yeah. That's just me.
Yep.
AAL,
they don't
UAL, one of those generally trades better.
And you can tell here, guys, I mean, look at the volume they're getting, even on big day, 17 million. Like if you go to American Airlines on this day here, I'm sure they have well into the 100 million here. So you're going to get a lot more volume. Even on United Airlines, you're going to get more volume too. Not too bad. But for some reason, United Airlines trades a lot cleaner than Love. Even though the same volume is on there, a little bit higher, 28, 29. So yeah, I would pick any one of these other ones. I'm not sure about Delta and JetBlue. You can check into those as well. Delta looks okay, but again, American Airlines looks good.
And Market Man in the chat here does have a good point. You can also trade the ETF, which one of the ETFs specific to airlines and such as Jets, JETS. So
JETS. Yep. Yeah, we could do this one here as well. So you definitely got some options that are going to be better than that Love that love one there for intraday trading. All right, guys, that is what we have. Let's take a look at a few more here. We got a couple of minutes. NEO, we do have on deck already, guys, so that's looking good. 1.2, trying to get into green. Again, XPF is green, nicely 2.6, so weird that NEO is down. They usually trade very closely together unless they have independent news. OCGN, again, I don't like this one, guys. It's very choppy. I had it a couple of times on my list here. They had a couple of days where they traded well. But I'm not seeing that today. I don't see anything clean on this pre-market action, and they've just been stuck between this range lately. Not saying that you cannot find a good opportunity within this range. I know there's a couple of really clean days in here, but today I think in the travel area, some of these reopening plays are looking rather good this morning. NEO, BA. Even X looking good here. The pre-market action as well with some nice volume after a couple of great days. Run there. Let's take a look at Acer. I think we looked at this one already. What do we have here? Yeah, this is again, we looked at this one already. It doesn't trade very well. Let's see. Let's go down here. What do we have? GNMK. I believe we looked at this. Yeah, this is
buyout.
Yeah, it's a buyout, guys. So again, you got this pop here with some good volume, 2 million. But look at this volume, right? You got 2 million shares traded. Look how that is trading. You know, you're barely getting any movement here. I mean, this candle is traded already 113,000, and you're not moving. You're still within, I think, 2-4 cents there. So again, that's not going to be tradable today. Can that change? Yes. At the market open, anything's possible. You can get a nice drop or pop, but for the most part, usually that catalyst is not attractive to the good day trading. NLSP, one that was active last week. We're on the second day today. We looked at this earlier. I don't think this is going to be great for a second day type play, so we're going to keep it off our list for now. All right, I'm going to stop here, guys. We do have Dr. Katz this Monday coming up, so let's go straight to announcements, and we'll come back and fine tune this list.
Yeah, buddy, quick weekly rundown. Just Brian's swing trading discussion, 2:30 in the afternoon on Mondays. With the lockdown over the last year, he's actually on a lot more often than just that in the afternoon. So keep an eye out for that. And then, of course, Monday night is the live onboarding and tech classes done by Carlos, Mike, Kyle. That starts at 8 with the onboarding class, and then Kyle's new tech class immediately follows at 9. Tuesdays and Thursdays, you've got trade reviews with Eamon in the classroom. That's also, I believe he's rebroadcasting that to YouTube live whenever it is on. And then success webinars, Wednesday night at 8 p.m. is the usual time. Occasionally they get adjusted because of time zone of the presenter. And then psychology, same thing, 8 p.m. on Wednesday. And you've got Thursday, 8 p.m. mentorship with Thor. So then, of course, you got the closing bell show Monday through Friday, 3:30 to 4:15 p.m. Eastern, that they simulcast on YouTube. Oh, well, my apologies, guys. Somehow I missed putting something in here, but we do have, I will get that fixed and get that over. We do have the risk control webinar with Artie. That will be 8 p.m. tomorrow night. As far as psychology goes, we've got Kreda, our mindfulness coach. She will be talking about how success doesn't define you and how to detach yourself from that to be more successful. And then next week, we've got our town hall with Dr. Katz. That'll be at 8 p.m. Both of these at 8 p.m. normal times. He will be talking to 2 traders, and that will be in the class. So we get a lot of good feedback on those. Let's see here. If you want to participate in the member trade of the day, trade of the week, take a screenshot of your best trade of the day, mark it up with entries and exits and such. And of course, and then any commentary you can give on the trade, post it on Twitter, tag at BearbullTraders, at MikeB_BBT, and at NormBBT. Also use the hashtags BBT Family, Day Trading, and Stock Market. And we'll announce the winner every day in the closing bell shown on Twitter. And then the team votes on the trades of the day over the weekend for Trade of the Week, which is announced Monday. If you're watching us on YouTube, haven't been in the chat, would like to give it a try, use the promo code PREMARKET24. It'll get you a discount off the intro membership. It's 7 calendar days, 5 trading days, does not auto-renew, does not turn into another kind of membership or anything like that. And it also gives you access to Carlos's onboarding class every Monday night, 8 p.m. that I discussed already. Also, if you're looking to take advantage of the St. Patrick's Day promotion for Elite Annual membership. That code is still active. Luck40, 40% off. Dr. Katz, how are you, sir?
Good morning, Norm. How are you today?
I am great, thank you. I hope you had a good weekend. Always nice to start out the week with these Mindful Monday segments, and we're going to be continuing on what we started last week here. The book that you recently read and suggested to us, Think Again by Adam Grant. Some thoughts out of that book and how we can apply them to trading.
Sure, Norm. Yeah, Adam Graham's book is Psychologist Think Again, basically the power of knowing what you don't know. So I thought I would continue along with some thoughts that he presents that I think are really helpful for traders, really more about a mindset and ways to kind of invite others to question your own thinking. I think one of the key points he brings up is, the importance of learning something new from each person you meet. Everyone knows something, knows more than you about something. And so by the more you ask people what they've been rethinking lately, or starting a conversation about the times that you've changed your mind in the past year, I think is really helpful. You really want to build the people you talk with. You want to build a challenge network, not just a support network. This is really important. It's nice to have people who are cheerleaders encouraging you, but you also need to have critics that challenge you. This is how your thinking gets stronger and more useful. You want to seek out your most thoughtful critics and really invite them to question your thinking. Let them know why you respect their pushback and when they add value. Don't shy away from constructive conflict. That's really important. Disagreements don't have to be disagreeable. Task conflict can help you think again. Framing disagreements as a debate really helps you approach it more intellectually and not personally. In terms of interpersonal rethinking, I think you really want to practice the art of persuasive listening. We really can open our minds up a lot by listening better. It's something many of us do not do that well. I think if you increase your question to statement ratio, that's going to be helpful. Question how rather than why. We often ask people why, but we need to get into how people, when it's a why, people hold extreme views, and you really want to double down and try to explain how people kind of get the views they have. You want to ask what evidence would change your mind about something. You really can't bully someone into agreeing with you, but the more effective inquiry about what would open their minds and see if you can convince them of your own thinking. That's really important. You want to ask how people originally formed an opinion. Many of our opinions really are like our stereotypes. They're kind of somewhat arbitrary, that we have developed without any rigorous data or deep reflection. So that's an important thing. Grant talks about a nice thing, which is approaching disagreements as dances and not battles. You really want to acknowledge common ground in a debate. And that is really like a dance and not a war. Admitting points of convergence doesn't really make you weaker in an argument. It shows that you're willing to negotiate about what's true, and it motivates the other side to consider your point of view. These are all kinds of things that can help us learn more from others, think more clearly, and make sure that we are not, as Grant talks about, not being blind to knowing what you don't know. The more we're aware of what we don't know and trying to build up our knowledge base, I think helps us, and that impacts your trading ability in a very positive and constructive way, even though at times it may challenge the very things that you feel comfortable with.
I like that. I like the what did you refer to it? A criticism team or something of that sort. I'm criticized all the time, so I can and sometimes it's hard to listen to other people and say, hey, take a thought and say, hey, maybe they're right and maybe I need to improve this. So that's a great idea. I love that. And at the end here, you're talking about, treating differences and differences in opinion as more of a dance than a fight. Man, all of society needs to listen to that one, not just traders. So.
Yeah, I think, listen, I think very often when we get criticism, we act kind of defensively. And that's usually because we don't like being challenged, or it makes us feel uncomfortable to question ourselves. If you respond very quickly to that, that's usually a defensive response. This is why Grant talks about the importance of kind of more active listening. Increase your question to, to statement ratio. We can learn a lot from other people, and it's never harmful to kind of consider how other people view it. And again, being able to admit that you may not know as much as you know is not a sign of weakness. It's actually the ultimate strength, because that's how we get better at what we do.
Absolutely. Well, great. Mindful Monday once again, Dr. Katz. Sincerely appreciate it. Hope you have a great week.
You got it, Norm. Thanks, and good luck to everybody this week. Hope everybody has a good trading week. Speak to you next week.
You got it. Take care.
All right. Thank you, Dr. Katz. Appreciate that message as always every Monday. All right, guys, let's get to it. Let's see what we have here. Let's start with our list. At the moment, we have AMC. Again, looking pretty good this morning, up 8.3. I do like what I'm seeing there in the pre-market action, some great volume. So with a nice catalyst of hopefully things opening up later down in this month, as well as some already opening up this week. So that's going to be good for them. LLY, I have this one on here, but I remember now that this stock is one that is very, very difficult to trade at times. So I know they're active right now. They got great volume 202, and you're saying great volume 202, but this stock doesn't really get a whole lot of action in the pre-market, so this is actually great for them. But I'm going to move it down. I'm going to move it down to a possible, and maybe for me, not even as a possible, because again, they're just not my type of stock to trade here. But I've seen some really excellent trades here from the community. American Airlines is good, guys. Love what I'm seeing here. Beautiful pop this morning. Airlines are definitely in play. CCL also looking good. Not as much volume though. I do like the daily on here. But the volume is very light. We're used to seeing CCL by now with this type of day, millions of shares already traded. We're not seeing that today. NEO's looking good, guys. Love the daily on NEO. Look at this beautiful drop. We obviously are very extended towards the downside, or at least were going down all the way to 31.96, now coming back up here around the 45 area. This daily looks very nice, guys. Possible breakout if we can get going. I do like also the pre-market action is stretching very nicely here in the green and in the red area. BA has been incredible. Pre-market action, you can't judge it too much by this pre-market action because they've been trading just amazing. If you look at some of these intraday trades, they just kept going, right? They just got held on to the 9 moving average and just kept going, give a couple of pullbacks and opportunities, and it's been very, very well. Now they are obviously extended today. We'll see how that's going to play out. Here's X, a couple of great days here as well. So not great pre-market action, but we'll see how that's going to play out. All right, LLY, we looked at NNDM. It's okay. I like the daily on that one. DKNG, it's all right for a possible CAN. I know Bitcoin has been very, very active. This one has been great to trade as well. We took a couple of trades last week. I'm not going to watch both of these. I'm not going to watch Mara and CAN, so I'll get rid of Mara. Penn today, they have a catalyst. They're popping up nicely, 6.2. Hopefully that can translate into some good trading this morning. And actually, this pre-market action is not bad from them because they don't get a whole lot of traffic in the pre-market action. UAL, not looking great at all. American Airlines looks amazing. United looks pretty bad this morning. Very, very light on the volume, and just the trading overall not clean. Now that could change at the open, but just for sake of space, I'm going to remove that one from the list here. Here we have XPEV, and that could be a secondary one to NEO as well. I do like the daily, as I mentioned earlier. We're up above in the green, actually. Did not go red on XPEV this morning, so that's looking good. All right, so yeah, I like what I have here. Let's do some levels, guys. Let's get our hotkeys in here. We'll start with AMC, so let's start there. At the moment, high of the pre-market sitting at 1241. We'll throw a level there. Slightly, well, actually, pretty much on the previous high they had here about 2-3 days ago. Below that, guys, highs and lows from the last 2 trading days, previous day close. Great support of levels down here towards the bottom, so that looks very, very good. Heading on down to the left, I know we had some madness here around end of January, right? Again, these are not going to be great levels because you might not get this type of movement like you did there with, with GameStop when they all just went nuts there. You might not get that, but just for the heck of it, we're going to put 1303 here, great level there. Here we have 16, couple of touches there. Above that, we have 17, and then all the way up here, we have this insane candle over at 2033. So we'll keep those on there, but again, just be mindful that these are not great levels because this action here it's not like your regular price action that you're getting on regular daily candles, right? So just keep that in mind. We have American Airlines here. They are looking very good, guys. Pre-market high being tested a couple of times here, 24.55, really trying to get above that. This morning, it looks like it's heading right back up to it one more time. Towards the bottom, guys, highs and lows from the last 2 trading days. A beautiful daily here on American Airlines. Let's head to the left, and we're going back to about a year ago. So a year ago here, before the pandemic, we have 26.05. Great area of support here before things started to go south. Above that, another great area of support, guys, on the daily, 27.37. Look how many touches we have on these levels. It's 27.37. Great area of support. 26.06. Also another one there as well. So I think that covers you when it comes down to American Airlines right now. So you're looking pretty good there at the moment. CCL, guys, again, volume starting to get going, 700,000. High of the pre-market, 29 to the T. Above that, we do have a great level up here, 29.59. You also have this date here. You can mark this down too. I would. 29.40. If you can get 40 cents out of this one, you're in good shape. So 29.40, another one on there. Looks like we had levels from before, 31.01 and 33.31 from previously about a year ago. So these are still pretty good. I'm going to keep them on there. As you can see here, great area consolidation, just banging its head back and forth here, creating 2 great levels of resistance and support there. So again, looking pretty good as far as CCL goes. And then towards the bottom, again, just beautiful daily here, highs and lows from the last 2 trading days. Here's NEO. NEO's got a great daily as well, trying to get in the green. Well, in the green now, after diving down here into the red territory, 45.03. I know this is not the low of the pre-market, but you want to mark this down because that is where you had an amazing change in direction right on there after a couple of nice red candles into the red, bouncing back from that into the green. So you want to mark that down, and then your pre-market low is all the way at 44.54. But again, do not forget to put that one on there. And if we're looking at this one, looking back, even on the last trading day on Friday, you can see some action happening right around that 45.03. So definitely keep an eye on that one. Bigger picture, guys, we're surrounded by the highs and lows of the last 2 trading days. Towards the bottom, you even got 42.50 down here. So you're pretty good in that area. Towards the top, I'm just going to add this one right on here, guys, 47.22, just in case we get a breakout here towards the top. But again, plenty of levels on NEO already. I don't think you need to add anything more than what's on there with those 2 levels. Here's BA. BA had a great trading day the last week. High of the pre-market, 276 at the moment. Towards the bottom, highs and lows from the last 2 trading days. You can go into this Friday date here, and you are going to find some really good levels. And let me show you some to begin with here. High of the pre-market on this one. You want to mark this down. This was a great level for this stock. Look how it came and retested that. That became the high of the day. And then look at the breakout, holding on, as we mentioned earlier, to that 9 moving average, and then just trading very, very clean. So that's excellent there. So towards the bottom, you pretty much cover. You can also find some other areas of support. So right on here, guys, another one, 263.58, right? You broke out of that, come back down. That now becomes support. Great level to have on there as well towards the bottom. Towards the top, let's go over to the left here. We are heading down to March of 2020. And then here we have, again, a daily level right over here, 297. I know it's very far out from the price action, but it is the daily level that we have. In between here, you can mark down this one on here. You got a couple of days using that as support and resistance at 286.43. But really, this one here is pretty nice because you got a nice change in direction over at that 297.54. So, all right, looking pretty good there on BA, guys. Let's see how strong this is. Again, it is very extended towards the top side, but we've been getting great volume and some pretty nice intraday trading on BA. Here is X. So X also looking nicely on the daily the last couple of days. Pre-market actions, okay, not great. High of the pre-market sitting at 25 97. Towards the bottom, you pretty much cover highs and lows from the last 2 trading days. You got a nice big gap here on your Friday from 22.10 all the way up to 24 almost. Let's see if the daily we can find some good levels here. Maybe this one here. Got a couple of touches here at 23.40. So that's a nice area there. Let's see if actually the intraday, if you have any action around that that 23.39. Oh, and you did. You had a couple of days on here. You can see that right on there, guys. Resistance and then the breakout. So that 23.39 did trade very well in the intraday. You definitely want to keep an eye on that one. You also have another one right on here, guys. You can see the great area of support and resistance over at 23.87. Let's zoom in a little bit more. Right on there, look at the breakout, 23.49. That's beautiful. Right to 23.87, a little bit of resistance there. And then just look at the ping pong action here between this level, which became your previous day close. That's a good level to have as well on your chart. So again, looking good on X also possible. Let's take a look here. LLY, again, I'm going to remove this one. I just don't like the way it trades. And NDM, this one is okay, not great. DKNG could be a hit or miss. I do like that we're slamming down against this area of support here. Maybe a breakdown towards the bottom here. We got some levels down here over at a 64.66. That's a good one. A lot of touches there. Below that one, another great level here at 61.73. Tons of touches there, both on the resistance and the support side. So that's good. So we'll see how that plays out. CAN, this is the one I'm going to be watching for the Bitcoin type play in case this thing runs up. Again, Bitcoin hit 60 over the weekend. Let's see if they're strong. They've been really great over the last couple of months, guys. Just look at the run up they've been having. So we'll watch CAN. PENN also has news, a nice gap up this morning, and XBET will be the secondary for NEO. So that is what we have so far. So not bad list to start the week on a Monday, and a beautiful Monday here. Let's take a look at what our moderators have today. Let's bring in our visuals right over here. Here we go. Okay, let's move up. What do we have here? Okay, here we go. So Peter, no IPOs for this Monday. Thor is watching DKNG, NEO, and POTR. We'll take a look at POTR, see how that looks there. He's looking at the tech sector, so he's looking at Apple and all those other companies in that area. John is looking at FUTU, BA as well. And Jared is looking at airlines and BA. Again, all looking very good, guys. You can pick whatever airline you want there. Looking very nice this morning. XPEV and NEO are on his list as well. And then secondarily is looking at BA, GN, BB, Nokia. I think that's what it is. AMC and GME this morning. Eamon is looking at UAL, CCL, and Ford. And secondarily is XPEV, Microsoft, and Uber. Peter likes XPEV, AMD, UAL, X, MGM, GNRC, and NEO as well this morning. Mike is looking at BA and Facebook, and BA just continues to be amazing. Mike had a great trade last week on BA. I don't think he stayed in for the whole entire move, but it was an amazing trade. I think he had to take a walk after that trade just kept going on him. Tiffany, American Airlines, XPEF, BA, secondary list, DKNG, CAN. Brian is looking at AMC, Space, Eyes, American Airlines, BA, and CHEK for fun. That is a low flow stock. Be very careful. I think a penny stock as well. So be very careful with that one. Dima, she is watching Space, PLTR, CCIV, and XBEV this morning. So very similar watch list, guys, from a lot of the traders here. Again, travel companies are in play. AMC is in play. A lot of good reopening type plays here this morning. Let's take a look at PLTR. This one, again, nice on the daily, guys. Great volume. I mean, it's just, wow, this does look good. It is worth having, at least as a possible for me. I mean, that is looking very, very good this morning. I see where you guys have that one on there. And then another one that we saw that we did not take a look at was CCIV. I know this was one also that can move very well. It has in the past. Let's remove some of these levels. Yeah, definitely got some great volume. I love the daily for a possible breakout here as well on CCIV this morning. So, guys, you got a lot to choose from. I think we have an amazing list for this start of this week. Thank you so much for joining us on YouTube. If you're not part of this community, you can definitely check us out in our introductory webinar this evening at 8 p.m. with myself and Mike. So definitely do not miss that. You can sign up. And there's a link here in the chat room you can take a look at and sign up. And we'll see you tonight at 8. So do not miss out on that. And then right after that, you get access to Kyle's technology webinar, which is tons of great information he's going through there. You can bring your questions. He has a lineup of stuff he's going to go over, not just for new members. You know, this is also for the guys that are sitting here in our community. So make sure you take advantage of that. That comes on at 9 p.m. Eastern time. So, all right. Did I miss anything?
No, I don't think so.
Okay, Peter says watch this window in the wrong spot. I'm not sure.
You changed your layout.
Oh, I changed my layout. Yes, I changed my layout. So I'll bring that from the left now. That's what you want me to do, so not to not block it. Yeah, we can do that. Yeah, we changed the guys, make it a little bigger. So now you can see a little more here. You have the exchange, Nasdaq, NYSE, Nasdaq, got the price on here, and we can see the company name if we ever want to go back here and see what's happening there as well. So a little change. All right, guys, take care, trade safe, and we will see you guys tonight for the onboarding class, or tomorrow 8 o'clock in the morning. Take care, guys.
Take care, guys. Trade safe.